do an introduction about why we wanted to do this. And I'm going to let you start, babe, because I'm always talking. So I'm going to let the man start. Go.
Well, good evening. Again, we are here to do Let's Talk Marriage. The purpose of us doing this is, for one reason, is to engage in conversation that most people do not have in their marriage.
Mm-hmm.
They're scared to talk about or scared to approach because they're scared of what the spouse may say or what the answer may be. So we're here to challenge and challenge ourselves as well in them topics.
So we are definitely going to try and challenge ourselves because this is something that we've never done before. We've always spoken to other people and things like that about their marriages, other married couples. And we've always just done that. And we've always given advice from our point of view and some things that we've gone through to help other people and things like that. And so we just decided, you know what, maybe we can kill two birds with one stone. So let's just come online and just try and do something for everybody. So instead of us actually being in the studio today, we thought we would do it at home. You see my little blanket back there. It's all ruffled up because his arm is so strong. But we decided to do it at home today to just be a little bit more comfortable and be a little bit more laid back because it can get hot and sweaty, especially when you're a little nervous because, like I said, again, this is our first time doing this. And we hope to get a good feedback on us actually doing this because we're taking it to YouTube and other places as well. So let's get started. We have coming up, we have two people coming up in November. Next week, we're not going to host anything because it is Halloween. So there are people that are doing Hallelujah Night. They're doing a fall festival or fall festival or whatever they call it. So people may not join on, or if they do, as we get bigger, we can probably still stream something. But for this time, we will not be on next week. But the following week, which is November the 7th, we have Carrie and Nia Johnson Jr. So they're going to be some guest speakers that'll be coming in, and they're going to be speaking about submission is sexy. Is submission sexy? You think submission is sexy?
Yeah, I really believe so.
What's so sexy about submission?
A lot. And another discussion.
Whatever. So then we have, after November 7th, we have Brian and Genevieve Harris on November the 14th, and they're going to be talking about marriage in the marketplace. And then after that, we'll have other guest speakers on. So we just want to give you two things that'll be coming up in November. So with that being said, we're going to speak a little bit more of why we're doing this. So I just had some preliminaries that I wanted to go through, to talk to you guys about, so you'll know what's going on next. So the reason why I really wanted to do this is because I work with families, married and unmarried, and I do a parenting course. And oftentimes we get a lot of people that are divorcing here in South Florida. There's a large number of divorces, and families are really they're not coming together. They're not seeming to understand. And so I get to speak with these people often, and some things actually puzzle me because they don't communicate really well. Or if they communicate, it's always where they're bumping heads. The relationship or the information is not relaying to each party's properly. So sometimes my husband will talk to his guy friends and they'll say certain things to him, but they won't say it to their wives. And then I hear this other side from the wives, and then I'm just like, are you relaying that to your spouse? And they always say, I don't know how. So the reason why I think that we are a little bit of experts on speaking about this is because we are anybody that knows us, there's some people that are on here, they really do. They've been around us for some years, and we're very, very open and transparent in the way we speak to each other. I hide nothing from him, and I hope and I think that he hides nothing from me. I'm just very transparent about who I am. And what do you think about that? I don't want to be the one talking so much.
It's okay. Don't mind. Um, well, first place, piggyback what you were saying about communication. And majority of the marriage that I have spoken to or have spoken to the husband part of is they are scared to approach issues. Coming from a personal experience, I was scared to approach issues myself. So when you look at different things, you wanna keep your wife happy, but we forget to keep ourselves happy as well. Now we get to a point where now communication part come in. There's an interruption in the communication because we are willing to communicate with our parents, other people, but not our spouse.
Okay, so why do you think that is?
Fear of the answer, fear of what may happen or what may be said, or miscommunication because you do not know how to communicate your words properly.
Hmm. Okay, so I think I might know what he's talking about, but you got to give some examples. It's okay to be real, raw, and uncut. We only have a few people on here right now, so just give an example. And it's okay if you use me. I'm not going to be mad.
I ain't worried about that part. My biggest thing is, I tell her out there, I'm gonna work overtime on SY on Monday. Okay, no problem. I told her this last week. Sunday come up, but then I'm working overtime in the morning. You didn't tell me, but baby, I told you. No, you didn't. I don't recall. Hello. Then you think about it. Oh, you did tell me. I did. But in times, I begin to understand that I just can't say it one time. I gotta say it several times.
There you go.
Because the pattern of me saying it one time is not good.
So let me interrupt. Go. So if I have a schedule, we have children. We have 3 children. So if there is a schedule and all I'm thinking about is how I'm going to manage the kids, and then he comes in and he tells me something only one time, how am I supposed to remember that? So if you're texting me, or if we have a schedule or something that we can go by, I can work with that. I keep a schedule at work. If I don't have a schedule for my clients, I don't know what's going on. So I have to have a schedule. So if you're telling me something and I'm doing a million things, that's not going to work for me. So where you're afraid at is what? Why are you afraid to tell me? Do I blow up on you?
If I tell you the last day, yes.
Because it's frustrating. And ladies, y'all got to talk to me, because if it's frustrating when we're trying to do 17 things at one time, and then you come in and say one thing, and then we're supposed to remember that. It doesn't work like that. Guys, you can talk too. I see people laughing and saying hello, hi, everybody, but that it doesn't work like that.
Well, I'm learning.
That's right. You're learning. Put it on paper. When it's on paper and I've signed it and I've said, oh, okay, I see this. That means I have put it in my mind.
So now we get to that problem. Now another problem is communication with our parents versus our wives. I was taught before I got married, keep my marriage business home. Okay. So I'd never go back to my mom and say, hey, Ma, X, Y, and Z, because it was never her business. I didn't marry my mom, I married my wife. And a lot of men I have taught to put their mom first other than their wives.
Oh, so we used to have a big problem with this. And I don't know if we're even jumping ahead because it's only 8:10.
No, I'm not jumping ahead.
But this was a big problem for us. And a lot of things have dissipated now. And the reason being is because we've learned to stand on our own. There were a lot of things that we were taught that we did not understand. And when we got married, to be honest with you, he taught me and I taught him. So we had to learn from each other what we were going to accept and what we were not going to accept. And family, one thing I can say from a woman's point of view, and ladies, you can light it up on the side here and let me know. One of the things that's very important to a woman, I believe, is that she has safety and security in her spouse. If she doesn't, that's where you get the craziness from. That's when a woman starts to go all over the place. Reason being is because if your mom is coming in and they're putting their 2 cents in for this and putting their 2 cents in for that, and then you don't want us to disrespect your mother, my thing is you better handle your mama so I won't have to say anything. Because at the end of the day, I married you, not your mother or your in-laws. Now, the sad thing is that his mom has passed on, but we had big issues with that. But one thing that I do like about my husband that he did for me, and I appreciate it, and this is what keeps me grounded with him and keeps me in love with him, is how he fought for us and how he told his mother and his brothers who were trying to, and mind you, we're both the oldest in our families. Like, I'm the oldest daughter of 4, and he's the eldest son of 3. And but he would come in and he had to tell his whole family, and I knew it hurt. I knew it hurt. But we had to build our marriage from things that we didn't understand. We had to start from scratch. We had to figure us out. And what he did was he told them they were not welcome anymore until they were able to get it together. And, although his mother has passed along and some things are just going to die in the grave, but his brothers, they're coming around. And if that's all you have and that's all you know, and I'm willing to listen now, and I'm willing to understand from both sides. But what I am not willing to do is be disrespected, because I'm still a woman and I am a mother. And not only that, I am a wife. I'm still learning. I'm not disrespectful to anybody's parents or anybody's in-laws. But what you can't do is you can't be disrespectful to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. One thing I know I had to really teach my wife is.
Oh, you had to teach me?
Yes, I had to teach
you. Okay, go ahead.
A little something, not much.
Go ahead.
What's in our 4 walls is what's important. Anything outside the 4 walls, leave it there. Because when you bring outside into your home, you created new problems where there shouldn't be a problem. If your communication with your spouse is going well, why bring out something that your mother said years ago? That's irrelevant, because she don't live in your home.
Give an example of what I used to do, because you're talking about me. I feel it. I feel your spirit.
I'm not worried about that part.
I feel your spirit.
What happened was, what happened, we used to have a bad communications problem between me and her, where she would say something outside the house and it come back to her. Mm-hmm. Then she blamed me for it. I'm like, sweetheart, I'm not talking.
Can I say where it came from? What was happening? I'll let you finish.
It doesn't matter where it happened.
I'll let you finish. Just finish.
It should never happen in the beginning.
You're right.
If it was our home, if it's our home, what's been spoken in our home or what took place in our home or transpired in our home should remain in our home. Who don't live in our home, it's irrelevant. Because if you bring somebody else in the home, now you're causing another problem. Because why? You looking like they don't live here. Why you keep on talking or bringing them up when they don't live here? And what happened is you cause a interruption in the communication. Because why? People like, forget it, I ain't gonna talk no more. I ain't got nothing to say no more, because every time we begin to discuss something, you bring up X, Y, and Z, and I'm not talking about X, Y, and Z. I'm talking about us.
Okay, let me tell you what I used to do. This was way before I had good sense. So I had these friends, or a friend. And what happened was I used to, and this friend was really close with his mom. And I used to share a lot of things with this friend. And then the information would get back to his mother. I just wanted somebody to talk to, because mind you, my grandmother wasn't trying to tell me anything about how to manage a marriage. Although she showed me some things, I needed a little bit more. And then, so I thought I had a friend. I thought I had somebody that I could talk to, that I could confide in about so many different things that I know better now. I didn't know any better then. And my friend circle is this big. So it's 5 people, and 2 of them are on this line. And I just didn't share. I shared too much. And then it would come back here, and then I would fight with him because his mom would say certain things, and I'm just like, what is going on? But you got to be careful. When you are married, I know this now. I didn't know this then, but I know now. When you are married, your business, everything, it stays in your house, because the people on the outside, they're not taking care of you. They're either spectating or trying to break something up, or wish they had something that you have. They're jealous, and they're stabbing you in the back with the other hand. So we have to be very, very, very careful. That is the lesson that I learned. And so now my friend circle is very small. It's very small. And I don't confide everything in them, because I confide in my husband. And whatever he can't do for me, we go to God in prayer, and we ask God to cover and keep us, to help us. Because the people on the outside, all they can do is give their opinions, like we're doing right now. We're just giving an opinion. It has nothing to do with your marriage. But if you can take something away from what we're saying today, you can utilize it, in the rest, you can throw it away. So it's just from our point of view, but it doesn't mean that you have to take this on. And I learned that from a very, very good friend of mine that I've been friends with for over 20 years. She used to always say, what I'm going through in my marriage has nothing to do with your marriage. So let's just get that out the way right now. I'm talking to you about me, not about you. So don't take this mess to your husband. And that's a good friend to have.
Now, another note on top of that. After you pass all that test and trial and tribulation of unwanted spectators, unwanted comments, unwanted backlash, unwanted everything there is, you come to a point where now just you and her. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah. Me and my wife, we decide, okay, baby, go to school. Yeah. I will handle the bills.
You did that.
I'm going to invest my vision into you. Now we are to a point where the vision is beginning to blossom, because we're working together as one unit, not two. And I'm finding a lot of marriages breaking up because they give up before they get to the end of the road. Because why? Nobody invests no time in each other at all. They're too busy investing the time in themselves. And they are selfish. They're really being selfish and self-sabotaging their own marriage.
Right.
And not thinking that, hold up, if I invest my time in my marriage, I can help my wife get where she's going. She can in turn help me get where I'm going, and we can build this empire together. Marriage is like an empire. If you don't work on it, it will explode up on you.
I agree with that. That's cute. You're going to get a kiss later.
Thank you. I like that.
Those of you who know me, I mean, he makes me blush sometimes, and it wasn't like this always. And I can say that what he's speaking and what he's saying is absolutely true. We have built something that literally nobody can come in to penetrate. This is something that the way that we've grown is tremendous, because I used to be a battle axe. I was extremely scared of the unknown. I was scared of him being a man, and I've never understood or didn't even know what it looked like. What does a man look like? What does he do? Those of you who know me, or even if you don't, I'm going to share that I used to be a lesbian, and I was a lesbian for a very long time. I thought
you didn't tell me that.
Shut up.
Okay.
I thought I was going to die a lesbian, and then here comes Mr. Drummer Man. Here comes Mr. Saxophone Man. He was extremely
patient.
He was patient with me, and I needed that. I needed somebody to be patient with me, who was willing to understand me. Back in when I lived in Atlanta, I was praying on my end for God to send me somebody. I didn't think it would be a man, but I asked God to send me somebody who would love me, flaws and all, who would love me no matter what I was or what I was doing. I really did not think that it would be a man. When he came, there was so much backlash. And so I understand from his parents and his family's point of view of, you're with a real lesbian. Like, I don't know how this is going to happen, but she's going to hurt your heart. She's going to break you. I didn't. Everything that they thought of me was quite the opposite. He saw me in ways that I thought no one else could. It was very nice to actually finally stop being something to other people that I needed somebody to be to me. And so when he came, he was extremely patient and just so loving and kind. And he is still that same way today. He is ever patient with me, loving and kind. I mean, I know what buttons to push. And I push them sometimes just to be like, oh, okay, he still got it, you know? But I really just, I'm thankful for what God has done for us. But faith definitely still without works. There was some work that we had to do. We still had to do some work. There was nothing under the sun that I couldn't talk to him about, because those feelings would still come for me towards other women. But I never wanted to cheat on him. And I couldn't understand it. How is it that I'm with this person, with this man, and he is the only man that has ever made me just stop in my tracks from whatever it is I was going to do that was unpleasing to anybody else but me. And how did he get me to just stop? It was his patience, his love, his kindness, and we have children. So, people usually ask me all the time, am I still a lesbian? Do you think I'm still a lesbian?
No, I am.
Yeah. You're
To be honest with you, I understand the true definition of being a father, a true definition of being a husband, a true definition of being a man in a marriage. So what happened is when I saw her for the first time, I heard the voice. There she go. They didn't say that's your wife. They didn't say anything else. There she go. When I saw her, I said, "Oh, I'm being a mama. I'm married now. I am going to marry this one here." I told my best friend, I said, "Listen, man, that's my wife." He bust out laughing. He didn't believe me. I didn't care, but I knew what I saw. I saw my future. I saw my beginning of my new life.
You deserve a kiss.
A beginning of a new life. And I understand from that day to this now, even still, that it's true. When a man meet the woman of his dream or the woman that he desired to marry, he knows the first day he meet her. I knew it. So I had patience enough to sit there and wait until everything. I didn't care where she would walk in her life. It was not my point of view. My point of view is she needed to see me. When she finally saw me, guess what? She wasn't going nowhere. After I got her and locked her in, guess what? I did everything I was supposed to do to make sure she feels secure. Even though she may not feel secure, I did it. And when somebody brought it up to me, said, hello, that man loved you. Hold on, what you mean? He did this, he did this. Oh my goodness, he do love me. But it was not my place to show her. It's my place to do for her. So I did everything. My love was so strong till I believe there was enough to keep her in my presence, even when I was outside her presence. Most men don't understand that to love your woman, you have to love yourself. Because I love myself so much. I knew how to love her by loving myself. Because I understand if I love myself enough, I can show her the love that I have. Because the Bible says that husband, love your wife as you love yourself. So I have no choice but to love myself. That's why I can show her the love that she needs. True love. Unforgiving, unforgotten, everything you name it, all the above forever. So I'm not trying to go nowhere. I don't care how good that girl may look. Guess what? My wife look better.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really sweet.
I know. I try my best.
Do you mean that?
I do.
I believe you do mean that. He's been saying that for years. You guys don't understand. I'm telling you, no, I couldn't be trapped by no man. I'm telling you. But this one here, he makes my heart sing differently. He makes me want to come home. He makes me, he makes me want to be a better version of me. And from what I was before to who I am now, I'm better because of him.
We are better.
Oh, this boy here, I don't know what he got planned for the night, but I'm done as it is. I'm done.
You know, one
I'm
thing I
done.
would say is when we first got together, I was going through a lot of issues in my personal life. And I told her, if you take care of me for 1 or 2 years, I got you for the rest of the way. She did exactly what I asked her to do. With no strings attached, with no issues. Yeah, we fuss and fight. All who don't fuss and fight. But guess what? After the fight happened, guess what happened after that? We make up. I like that part.
I had to learn how to do that, guys. I'm
So-
telling you. I had to learn. Lord have mercy,
So-
help me. But I figured it out.
After we got done and we got through all our problems, our issues, we realized that our biggest problem in our marriage was communication. It wasn't the fact it was our parents, it wasn't the fact other people. It was really us because we was refusing to be married. We wanted to be married but single.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the issue I'm trying to get people to understand. Stop being single, be married. It's fun.
It really is fun. Like I do like being married to you. Like it is a lot of fun. I'm glad that I can, have sex with him and not worry about any diseases. That I have just one partner. Some people have a problem with that, but I don't. I'm happy to be with him and only him. Communication was a big thing for me because a lot of the things that I held on the inside, and especially as a woman not having a father, it was hard for me to accept the authority that was on the inside of him. It was hard for me to transition to that because in my relationships, I was the quote unquote man of the relationship. So now I'm having to submit to a different type of authority that I've never seen before. So him saying, "Oh, I'm a man," I'm just like, okay, I can do the same thing you're doing. But that's not all true. There are things that I believe his shoulders are bigger than mine. I'm a big woman. I am very tall. I'm strong. I know I'm strong. And the average woman is not running up on me. But it takes a very strong minded man and a strong man, not necessarily even physically, but just strong in general to be able to handle a woman like me who was hurt. I was broken, misunderstood. I didn't even understand myself. I didn't understand myself. So to be able to submit or to communicate to him my feelings, I didn't know how. So everything came out in argument. Everything came out in I want to fight. Everything came out in I want to leave. Everything came out in I don't want this. I just want to be left alone. I would self-sabotage so much it was ridiculous.
So what I had to do in our marriage was discover the pattern that she had.
I did have a pattern. Go ahead.
And anytime the first pattern we had a big argument about was I noticed every time we go out and have fun, we come on to an argument. So I brought it up to her one day. I said, listen here, I said, I'm tired of this foolishness we're going through. Every time we go out and have a good time, go to the movies or to dinner, we come on to an argument. Why is that? That's not true. I said, watch. Next time when I came home, I did it. I know, it's okay. But my biggest thing was I had patience to allow me to show her the error of our ways. That's so we could better each other. And I had enough patience to allow her to run rapid until she got tired of running rapid.
Oh, I did get tired. There's only one person on here who understands how tired I got. And I was like, I think I need to go home. And it was really crazy. I would still go out to the strip clubs. And it was, I would always ask him, I'm like, you just trust me to go? He said, I have faith enough to believe that God will bring you back to me and that you'll just come home. And I would never do anything. I would sit out there and I would be like, why am I here when I got a good man at home? Why am I doing all of this? And I got a good man at home. Sean, you didn't even have to tell your business. See, it was Sean. I was always out with Sean, hanging out in the clubs, in the street. And I would ask him, I said, I need to go home. And he would say, yeah, I'm going to take you home. Let's go home. And, it's good friends like him, even though my husband would just let me just go and just hang out. Sean would always be the one to say, nah, I'm coming to get her, and we'll just go hang out together. Because, if I was around anybody else, there's no telling what I would have done. I would have literally destroyed my marriage. And Sean is an amazing friend that he would always block. He would just, I'm like, why am I even here? I mean, you're going to just block me like this. And I would just come home. And then eventually what happened is when he put me through school, I learned so much about myself. Now, school isn't for everybody, but it was for me. I needed to learn, like going to school was therapy. You guys know that I am a therapist now, and I've had my own practice open now for about 6 months now.
About 7 months.
7 months, come on, high five. So 7 months I've been open, almost a year, and it's doing very, very well. And so sometimes when I'm doing therapy with people, I see myself in them, and it's called countertransference, but I have to be very careful of that. And I have, every therapist has their own therapist. But in school, I was able to learn so much about why I was doing the things that I was doing. Everybody doesn't have the opportunity to go to school, and everybody doesn't have the opportunity to get an understanding about just therapeutic things. Therapy is good. It is good to go to therapy. I don't know, in some Black families and some Black cultures, they have said that, God will take care of it and he'll work it all out. I do not find that to be true. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. I am a whole preacher's kid, and he is too. But we have found that talking to somebody else that has some realistic things that we could do, it helped us out tremendously. It helps. It helps. It helps. And I constantly, once a week, I have therapy, and I go and see somebody because I have unresolved issues that are still there. And sometimes it can flow over into my marriage. And I have to stop myself and say, oh, I'm not mad about that. This is what I'm really upset about. And I do that often now, right?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I catch on it too. I ain't mad about that. Yes, you are.
So what I want to do is, while we're still talking, you guys can come in and start asking some questions. I have one here. Let me see. Oh, I turned my little mouse off.
Well, while she's doing that, we'd like for you guys to actually pose questions or discussion you would like to have 1 week or however it goes on one of the shows that will help give you information on site, or we can probably find somebody that can answer the question for you.
Absolutely. I do have different therapists that I know that's willing to come on to help some people, even if it's for like 10 or 20 minutes out of the time, because it does cost for a therapist to come out. So I have to find someone that is willing to do this at no cost, because it is their time. Also, if you guys have any questions for me, I can answer those questions therapeutically. I can give you, the different modalities that we use and things like that to help you guys as well. But I have Tiffany's message here. She said, this is amazing advice for those looking to date, pursuing healthy relationships, and what to look for. And she says, thank you. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for posting that question. So, this advice is, like I said, it's good for you if you want it. You can take some of what we're saying, and the rest, if you don't need it, just, do what you will with it. Are there any questions before we continue on that you guys may have for us? So I'm going to post this here. It says, absolutely, give it to God and leave it there. Easier said than done, but you must keep others out of your covenant with God. Protect your peace and your home. Valerie, thank you so very much for posing that question. Absolutely. When you keep people out of your home and out of your marriage, period, you don't have to run into all the naysayers and people using word curses over your marriage. What do you think about word curses? Ew.
My opinion is before it gets started, stop it.
Oh, how do you do that?
Don't bring it up. Don't even, like me, when I had discussions with certain people, when they came out and discussed to my wife, I don't discuss that. That's off the table. You know why? That's none of your business.
Mm.
See, we have so used to running our mouth so much that we don't know when to run our mouth at all. So sometimes let's just shut up. I hate to use that word shut up, but shut up. Because when it comes out of my wife, that's not up for discussion. For why? It's not your place to even discuss. Number two, your opinion about my wife is none of your business. That's my opinion. My thoughts or view about coming out of my wife is none of your business. I don't want to hear, oh, your wife's sexy. Really don't care to hear that because why? Most men that say that may have their eye for the wife. Some women, I learned quickly. They say certain comments to the wife. I'm telling my wife, nah, I don't trust them comments, baby. Keep them away from me.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust them. I trust me. And before I allow somebody to destroy everything I built here, you gotta go.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've had some crazy things happen to us over the years, and some things I never really understood. You know, how men will try to talk to the wives, and some of the wives actually just go for it. Like some of his guy friends, he's no longer associated with them anymore. But there are a lot of things I just really didn't understand. And then he works at Miami-Dade Corrections. And then some of the women, I really had to straighten one of these women who said, "Oh, he's my work husband." So y'all know I curse, but I'm not going to say it on this site. But you can only imagine what I said. And I was like, how is he your work husband when he's going to work? He's my husband. He's going to work to do what he needs to do. What is he doing? Or I would ask him, what are you doing for them to feel comfortable enough to think they can say it to me? After they have said it out of their mouths, and then I say what I say, I don't think they say it anymore. But what makes a woman feel comfortable in telling somebody's wife that, oh, he's my work husband? What in the world does that mean?
I believe they do that just to see if they get a bug out of you. Or even out of me.
So what are you doing at the job that's making them think that you're their husband at work?
Nothing. I'm a man. That's it. It's a difference. It's a boy pretending to be a man and a man that's a man.
Uh-huh.
When I go to work, I'm a father on job. I'm a husband on a job and off the job. I do not change who I am. But the thing I learned so far is this so-called work husband foolishness got to go. Because a lot of women get out of line, get disrespectful with it, feel like they got authority over you. And I gotta put them in their place, let them know, hey, I'm not playing that radio with you guys. I got a wife. I had to tell one time before, oh, Mrs. Carvel home sleep. That's the only wife I know about.
You better say that because I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
I don't like that. I've worked too hard to hear women. You guys you want a husband and you want your own man and all this other stuff, and then for some woman to come and in her mind think, oh, this is my man too. I have a whole problem with that.
And funny thing, I speak very highly of my wife at work.
Oh,
so yeah, everybody know a black man like me is married to a black woman like this. Yeah.
and so people will say, you have spectators that will say, well, how does she know? So my husband actually gets me jobs. I'll explain. So there are different places that I go and I do groups and things like that. And you never know who you're talking to. And he's gotten me several jobs like over the weekend and things like that, paid jobs to go in and to speak into different churches just because of the way he speaks about me at his job. So there are different pastors and things like that are still there. And I've gone into their churches to actually do group sessions, and I've done therapy at some Black churches, and even not Jehovah's Witness. What is it? Is it Jehovah's Witness?
No, Seventh-day Adventist.
Seventh-day Adventist church. And that was just really just absolutely amazing to me. And I would say, what are you saying about me at work? And then when we got to the church, uh, the woman was saying, I've never heard a man, and she's a single woman. And she said, I've never heard a man speak so highly of his wife among so many women and so many men that are there cheating on their wives, that he speaks so highly of her. She was telling the people at the church, this is the reason she is here, because I had to have her here to find out what in the world is she doing that's so different than all the other women that I know. And I'm telling you, they had me there for months at this church. We did an amazing job there. We even tag teamed some things there, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So, you have spectators that will say, well, how do you know he ain't doing this? How do you know? There's proof in the pudding. You got to go to my website and you'll see for yourself. I do see some comments coming in, or did you want to respond to that?
Oh, one thing I'm going to say this here. I give myself no option. No option for divorce, no option to cheat, no option to do anything else but to love my wife and to be a father to my children. So most men have to learn that giving yourself option it's like almost looking for a way out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking for a way out.
Mm-hmm.
I invest too much time in this here to go out there and deal with somebody else's foolishness.
Right, absolutely. I agree. I like that. So I have another question here. But let me put Queen V's back up. So she said, some women confuse manners with flirting. So I don't understand that. Some women confuse manners with flirting.
Because they don't have it at home. And they take it as flirting instead of realizing that just being respectful.
Oh, so you're saying that the men have manners and the women confuse it with flirting. Oh, because they don't understand. That's pretty good right there, Queen B. I didn't even think about that. Mm-hmm. That's really, really good. Now that's a good that's something I've never even thought about that. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Valerie. So what's the difference between a work spouse and a coworker who shares commonality with you? I don't know. I don't have no work spouse.
I have a problem with that question because they do not share commonality with me or with you or anybody that's married. Because number one, if they do, it's an issue. That means somebody cheating.
Well, maybe Brian, he thinks a little bit outside the box.
Well, I'm going outside the box with him too. No, there's no at all. Because when I go home, I lay down with this woman. I don't lay down with nobody at work. When I get home, I kiss this woman. I don't kiss nobody at work. When I come home, I eat her food.
Oh, baby, I thought you was going to say something else. Lord have mercy. Brian, explain that differently. Lord have mercy. Let me get off of that. Oh, my God. All right. I got another question up here. Oh, my goodness. Question. What's your outlook on being married with single friends, and does it matter at all? Ooh.
Yeah, it does matter. It does matter.
Wait, be very careful how you answer this.
No. I'm explaining to you how it does matter. If your friends do not respect your marriage, let them go.
Very good. Okay.
Limit your communication with them. Mm-hmm. Basically, keep them out your home. Because if they don't respect your wife, guarantee they're gonna try to break you out.
Oh, now let me tell you, I've cut. You okay?
Yeah.
You want some water?
No, I'm fine.
I have cut some people off for this reason, because single women, they give you advice from a single point of view. Now, I have a friend who has been married over 20 years now. Although she's recently divorced, she still, for whatever reason, thinks like a married woman, and she's trying to understand being single. And the thing is that she would always tell me, like, even in my own marriage, like just getting that good marriage advice from somebody she's older than me and she's been married so long, and then the different steps. Like she would tell me, hey, maybe it's because of this. You need to be very careful how you speak to your husband. Now, this is a married woman. Then my single women friend would be like, oh, F that in, I'm just like, I don't know he doing all. And so I had one friend that he told me I had to stop talking to because her husband was cheating She was not willing to leave. She's still with that man now, but she was trying to get me to leave my husband.
And every time she came home, a fight break out. And I said, hold on, who you been talking to? Oh, my friend. Let her go.
You got to be very, very careful. Who remember that song when we were kids? Oh, be careful, little ears, what you hear. And then it would say, be careful, little eyes, be careful, little mouth, be careful. All these things, because it says the Father up above is looking down with love. So you got to be careful what you allow in your ear. Everybody can't come to my house, and I don't go to everybody's house.
You have to understand your marriage is a sacred vow between you and your spouse. And if you don't honor that sacred vow, you can lose what's best for you.
Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
Okay. So I'm going to go with this next question.
Go ahead.
Okay. So how did you come to let go of the past trauma? That's one question. Like not having a father in your life, being self-supporting, and learning to submit and let. Oh, Tiffany.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
Let me help you. Let me help her out a little bit.
Help me a little bit.
It was not all on her alone. I had to assist with that. How? I had to show her little nuggets. I had to show her little things. I had to talk to and communicate with her to get her to understand certain things as well, and hearing her point of view and answering a lot of questions she had. Because if I did not have patience with my wife, guess what would have happened? I would have lost my wife. Because why? Understanding that the imbalance in her life would have caused the imbalance to carry on in the next generation. So I had to fulfill that void by allowing her to release that anger. But at the same time, it's not the point of that she left it behind. She carried it with her in the marriage. So with her carrying it within the marriage, she realized to know what to look for, what not to look for. What she would put up with, what she would put up with, what she would not put up with. So in turn, it was my turn to show her the right direction as a husband, as a father, and as a man in her life. And she let me know whether I was right or wrong.
So that's his take on it. And I'm going to agree. My husband is different. He's different than a lot of men that I just know, period. The people that he socializes with actually think like him. So it's comfortable when they are around. It seems like, it's just very different. Not having my father in my life did not prepare me for it did not prepare me for him. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this because this is what I feel. And a lot of women may not agree with it. And it's okay, because this is my mouth and this is how I feel. But I think that he had to reparent me in a way, if that makes sense, Tiffany. So I didn't have a dad, but he gave me all the things that my father should have given me. Love, of course, without the sex and things like that. Like just think about, the things that a father is supposed to do. I'm going to give you another example. There's an old pastor who said to me that when you marry a man, he should remind you of God. What are those things that God says that he does for you? My husband did those things. He was loving, he was patient, he was kind, he was all those wonderful things wrapped into one, that even though my father wasn't there, when I got with him, I didn't feel like I was missing out too much. Because he's still like, it was so really, really good. I don't know how to even put it into words, but it was such a good thing. And it's still a great experience for me, because even how he parents our children, we have 2 girls and a son. And it's just good to know that my children won't have to experience the hurt and pain that I did. So I just kind of let it go. So I don't know if that answered your question, but I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that. I like that. Oh, so there's another person that put here. He was the protector of my heart. He was and still is, Michelle. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get this other question. Tiffany says again, yes, I get it. I have been in a relationship and the guy said, "You are wanting a protector." Honestly, that is what I was looking for because I never had that. Every woman, I believe, does want a man to uh, give her security. You want to be protected, especially if your father never did that. You want to know that a man can stand firm in his decisions and his being able to take. If I were to, he is actually the better parent. If anything was to happen to me, and God forbid, he can take care of this whole house by himself. A lot of people say that I'm really spoiled. He cooks for me. He um he takes care of me in ways that, like I said again, I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain it unless you've ever felt it before. Then you won't understand. But he provides. If someone was to come in this house, I know that he will step in front of that bullet and take it for us and the children and say, make sure that you take care of the kids because I'm gonna get ready to die because I'm gonna kill these people. He just does those things that a father is supposed to do. And I don't know how to even explain the emotion and the feelings that I feel for him. I just know that I don't want to leave. I can't leave, and when I'm home, I feel safe. I don't have to be the man per se. I can be feminine and everything that femininity comes with. I can be that and know that I am safe with him, if that makes sense. So yeah, women do want somebody to protect them. What is the whole point of all these muscles if you ain't gonna do nothing with it?
Well, my big take on that. I love the comic. I love what my wife said because she's right. If a woman protecting her husband's heart, guess what? It's my job to protect my heart. She protect my heart because I guarantee people came against me, and guess what her mouth did?
Well, y'all know I like to say bad words.
So
I'm
my biggest
good
thing
today.
is, oh no, you're doing wonderful.
Okay.
So my biggest thing is, she noticed anytime somebody come against her, I stood up like quick. I will move chairs and everything to get to who I want to get to.
Yeah.
Number one, this is mine. I have to protect my heart. And long I protect my heart, we are all happy.
Yeah. I like that. It brings us to this next question. Do you think it's the responsibility as a husband or wife to keep each other happy?
No.
No, ma'am.
If a person not happy internally, it's hard to accept love.
Yeah.
That's anyway. So what we had to do is find a place that make us happy. My wife sometimes like to sit around and binge watch certain shows. Guess what? I don't disturb her. Make her happy. Because when she happy, I'm happy.
Because I'm leaving you alone.
Then she realized, when I come on, I'm tired. I want to rest. She allowed me to sit down and rest and maybe read a book or whatever. But that makes me happy. So what makes me happy makes her happy.
Yeah.
So we understand that sometimes we have to separate to get ourselves together mentally.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't stress her out when she's going through her mental struggle.
Yeah.
I let her have it so she can get together.
Yeah.
And she do the same thing for me.
Yeah.
And that help us to have a stronger relationship, a stronger bond. And at the same time, nobody can penetrate that foolishness outside this wall.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What happens here stays here.
Absolutely.
So what makes her happy is ourselves make us happy.
Absolutely. I agree with that so much. Like I used to think that like he had to make me happy. It doesn't work like that. But I also believe that it's lack of boundaries when people say, "Oh, you have to make." No, he needs space. When he comes home from work, the house is clean, and I tell the kids, "Leave your dad alone. Let him get a minute." Like we have a pit bull, and when he sees my husband, he's worse than the kids. So he has to stay caged for a minute to allow him to just get just a break. I see him and I say, "Hey, how you doing?" And then I know exactly what he's getting ready to go and do. There's a pattern that he has to do to just deactivate from
Detox.
Or disrobe or derobe from being a correctional officer all day. Because once you enter this house, I'm not in jail. You're not going to bring that correctional officer crap here. Not at this house. You don't have no inmates here. So he has to, disrobe from that role and to be able to come to us as, "Hey, husband, hey dad, like he has to be able to do that. If he doesn't, it's ugly. So I just leave him alone in the bathroom, whatever he got to do for an hour, 2 hours. It doesn't matter to me. But I had to learn that. I used to think that I needed to be in his face all the time, nagging. And oh my gosh, the Bible tells us that a man would rather pitch a tent on the roof than to be in a house with a heckling woman. Now that is true. I've seen him just say, This dude used to go and sleep in the car when I would do crazy stuff. And he would go in the car and just go to sleep. And I would be like, why are you in the car? He said, because I don't have time for all this noise. He wouldn't go anywhere. He would just go in the car. And so I realized that there were some things that I desperately needed to change in order to just have a happy marriage. It doesn't mean that it's going to be happy all the time, but there are better ways to communicate what you don't want and what you do want. You have to, they don't read minds. So if you want something, you got to say it. Babe, I need for you to, nagging, aggravating is not, it don't work for him. If I nag him and aggravate him, it is not going to work. The children always say, get mommy to do it because daddy gonna move for mommy. He ain't gonna move for them, but he will get up for whatever reason. He just gets up and he does wonderful things for me. And I can't have just, I couldn't have had a better husband. So we have people up here live on Instagram. Hey, everybody in Instagram world.
And you're leaving us in 11 minutes.
Oh, you guys are leaving us in 11 minutes. I guess it only does it for 11 seconds. So it only does something for so long. If you guys want to join into Facebook, we're actually leaving out of here in a few minutes too. So let me share that. And so we go back to us. Instagram just shut off. But nevertheless, these questions are absolutely amazing. I'm glad you guys are engaging and you're liking it because we were very nervous in doing this because sometimes there are things that play with your mind and say, well, you're not equipped for this, you're not equipped for that. And I'm just like, we have to be because people always ask us questions and we're evolving into something that that we were told that it would never happen. We were told from the beginning that we would never even be married and our marriage wouldn't last.
But again, that was not their place to say. It was my place to say and hers. We allow too many people to speak into our life, but we don't speak into our own life. We have to speak into our own life. So I'm learning now, yes, you may say what you got to say, but guess what? I say what's matter. What she says what's matter. So we don't go by other people' opinion.
Yeah.
It's just what it is, opinion.
Yeah.
But I go by the truth that me and her speaks to each other.
Yeah. Okay.
She may say, I love you. I believe her. Somebody say she hate me. I don't believe him. Because when I go home, she show me every day. Yeah. And she look at me a certain way. She talk to me a certain way. Even when she mad, she may say, I don't like you today, but she love me still. I know.
That's true. I'm telling you, there's we can, we only have a minute left, but there is a difference between liking and loving. But, there are days that I don't like him, but I always love him. And there are days that I like and love him, So it is 9 o'clock. I mean, like literally, we could just go on and on and on.
We're going to say something for later.
Yeah, we have to say something for later. You guys definitely have to come back on the 7th? Yes. Of November for Naya and Carrie Johnson. And then we have, I'm looking down at my notes, we have Brian and Genevieve Harris that will be coming on. And it's going to be something good. Like you just can't miss it. Like these are questions that we've been asked and things that we've actually been doing just in the community and with different married people, and it's just been really good. And so we want you guys to join in
and continue to post. Let us know what you want us to discuss, research, or just want to know. We may not have the answer, but we can find an answer for you.
Yeah, absolutely, because we don't have the answer to everything, but like he said, we can try and find the answer for you. I do like to work with statistics and different things to just show, like, I'm not just talking out the side of my face. but today we were just definitely speaking of our own experiences, just giving you an introduction to who we are. So I think this was really good. Oh, so Tiana asks, wait, why not next week? This is amazing. So next week, what's happening is that it's Hallelujah night. You know, it's fall festival, and what is it, harvest?
It's Halloween, basically.
Yeah. So
some of it is Halloween.
Yeah.
Everybody want to trick or treat or go to the church.
Yeah. So when
celebrate, so
yeah.
we understand that and we give them that respect.
Yeah.
But the week after, we will follow back through.
Because we can't go live and people knocking and ringing the doorbell. And then we also have, even if I go to my office, they're doing something at the office, and it's really big. So that's a lot of interruption. So maybe we can post the video of what we did. We'll post it on our YouTube page. So a video of what we did for that day with the kids and what events they had. I don't celebrate Halloween. I don't like it. I don't like people jumping in my face, doing scary stuff. I fight and curse. But God is working on me. Y'all pray for me.
Please, let's pray together.
So I'm going to say something that me and Brian always say before we leave each other, and that's, may the Lord watch between me and thee while we absent one from another. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm telling you, me and Brian, that man is crazy.
And let's talk marriage.
And let's talk marriage. I love you guys with the love of the Lord. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So we're going to upload this stuff to YouTube, and it's going to be on Instagram. Right. And I think that's it. Any last words? Any of you guys have any last words? All right.
Keep it to yourself.
Keep your business to yourself. That's right, baby. Keep your business to yourself.
Bye.
Bye, guys. God bless you.